Alrighty everybody, welcome back to day number 2 of our 2026 solo adventure on an official PvP server. If this is your first time tuning into this series, just a quick little recap of our first day on this server. Basically, all we did was level up to max level, and that's pretty much it. If you're interested in seeing that entire process, I'll make sure to have the link to that first episode in the pinned comment down below. But yeah, now that we have successfully reached level 60, our next objective will be to get ourselves fully geared up. We're gonna get some proper armor, some proper weapons, and get ready to take on this server. Let's get to it. So when it comes to our armor, there's 4 recipes that we're going to need to go out and learn. We'll need the Dragonhide recipe, which we can learn over at Sinkhole. We'll also need Kurak's Leggings, which we can get over at Kurak's dungeon. We'll need the Light Silent Legion armor from the Black Keep dungeon. And lastly, we'll need the Spiderclimb boots, which we'll learn from an NPC over at this mountain here. With these recipes, we're going to be making a strength stamina build that I've been wanting to try out for a really long time. Now that we're finally back on Conan after an 8-month hiatus, we'll finally be able to put it to the test. Now, before heading out to learn these recipes, I do want to try and take down some of the thralls here at the Mounds because there's a good chance that they'll drop some star metal weapons. When we go over to Kurak's dungeon later on, we're going to need to fight some golems there, and those golems are uniquely weak to star metal hammers. So I do want to try and get lucky here, see if we can get a star metal hammer. I'll make our lives much easier. Let's try and take some of these down. Got a star metal short sword. Alright, let's see. Picked up a mace. I don't know if they're weak to that. I know it's the hammer specifically. All the thralls here in this camp are glitching out. They're just meshing out of their huts. There it is. Star metal hammer. That was quick. Luck is on our side today, guys. Let's hope it continues. So now we'll be able to take down the golems over at Kurak's dungeon very easily. That's really the only challenge there. And maybe the tomb skeletons that come out after. Alright, let's see. Where should we go first? So most efficient route to get all these recipes, we can teleport over to Brim Lake and stop by the cliff here, the mountain, pick up the Spiderclimb boots. Then we can head over to Kurak's dungeon, get that recipe, stop by Sinkhole, and then make our way back to the Black Keep dungeon. Right now we're about 2 hours and 30 minutes before raid time. Server pop pretty good, I would say, for 2026 standards on official servers. Ideally, I would prefer not to run into anyone just yet, not until we get our armor. Because right now, as you can see, we're just using really bad armor that we picked up from some thralls on day 1. I don't think we'd have much of a chance against already established players. Like I mentioned already, I've been away from Conan for 8 months. I am terribly washed when it comes to PvP. But we're gonna get back in shape. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it should be this cliff here. Once we approach this, we should be able to unlock the journey step. There it is. Fingerfang rock. There's the journey step, mountaineer. Let's go over to our journey steps. Look for the mountaineering one right over here. So we gotta climb it. We gotta speak to the mountaineer. Then we'll need to craft some climbing boots and then some climbing gloves. Let's do that. So for this build, I'm going with the Spiderclimb boots as my foot gear because even though they don't provide as much armor protection, they do provide a big bonus in stamina. Right now, since the stamina changes that took place back in March 2025 that brought back the exhausted state and also slowed down stamina regen, stamina is probably the most important attribute to be able to stay alive in fights, especially as a solo who most of the time is going to be outnumbered in fights. Oh, and another really cool thing about these boots is that it increases your climbing speed and you also use up less stamina when climbing. There it is, made it to the top, and now we'll just talk to this fella here. We'll finish up this journey step once we get back to base later on and we're able to craft the climbing boots and climbing gloves, and then we're going to be awarded the Spiderclimb boots. We'll actually take down this blood crystal rock nose just below the mountaineer because we're going to need some blood crystals to be able to enter the Kurak dungeon, and then later on to craft the Kurak leggings. Nice. Now we'll start making our way to the Kurak dungeon, try and get the Kurak leggings learned. This is the one dungeon out of all the ones that we have to visit today that makes me the most nervous, because sometimes, depending on the server that you're on, if this dungeon is bugged on your server, you're not going to be able to learn this recipe. And this recipe for the leggings is very crucial for this build. I decided to go with these leggings as my pants because they provide some of the most stamina in the Exile lands. And again, we need as much stamina as we can get to stay alive. Here we are, Mechamosis, the entrance to the Kurak dungeon. 20-30, just enough. Really hope we can learn this recipe here. Without these Kurak leggings, we're not going to be able to do this strength, the stamina build that I've been wanting to try. We'll need to resort to maybe the ranger armor instead, which I don't want to have to do because that is a big mission. It's a 3-hour mission for me to do all those dungeons. Always a good idea to bring some kind of light source here, but since we're using daggers and two-handed hammers, we're not really able to hold the torch. You can also use sorcery to illuminate rooms, but I ended up losing my staff in the last episode. Alright, here goes. First stage. Spiders should be coming out. Haven't done this since forever. There's the spiders. Okay, that's a good sign. Now the sorcerer should come out. Oh, there he is. Okay, perfect. Ooh. Oh, he hits hard. Don't remember that being a thing. Could also be that we're literally not wearing much armor. Alright, tag them a few times. Okay, I'm gonna need to switch to the Star Metal Hammer. Almost got him. Here come the golems. Let's see if this still works, if they're still weak to Star Metal. Yes, they are. Have some heals. Just gotta take out this guy now. This next part I feel is like the most challenging one out of all of them. I've been killed here a few times in the past. It's very easy to get ambushed and end up dead. We gotta destroy all 3 of these pillars scattered throughout this maze, all while dodging a bunch of zombies. Ooh, they are very tanky. This is gonna be tough. This is why I was worried the most about this dungeon. Okay, let's see if we can do it. We'll track them back here and then run back. That's exactly what I was afraid of, getting stun lock in place in between all those zombies. It's happened to me almost every time I come here. It's gonna have to do it all over again. But don't worry, you're not gonna have to suffer with me. I'm just gonna skip ahead to where we left off. Little tip though, just for anyone that might not know, if you want an endless supply of blood crystals, you can just farm this dungeon over and over. Just get up to the point where you fight the golems, kill them, farm them, and then pull bracelet and repeat over and over until you're satisfied with the blood crystals. I believe they used to give a lot more blood crystals in the past, but it got nerfed a bit. This dungeon is really beating me up today. Alright, now here comes the real challenging part once again. Come on. Gotta be quick. I wonder if maybe it's faster with dagger spam. Let's find out. Yes, it is. Okay. So it's not about the damage, it's just about landing 5 to 6 hits and then I'll break. And of course the dagger spam is way faster than a very slow two-handed hammer. Good to know for the future. Now we'll just kill the final sorcerer, avoid the dragon because he's unkillable, and we'll finally be able to learn our recipe. Oh, it hurts him. Just gonna farm the golems real quick because we'll need some more blood crystals to craft the Kurak leggings. We'll also farm the dragon here because he'll give us some dragon bone, and we'll need that to be able to craft the Dragonhide armor, which will be the next one that we'll learn. Can't forget the most important part, the recipe. Lastly, just gotta take out Kurak. We'll turn in Kurak's head for some extra profits. We get this big chest which will give us some extra materials. Now for the next destination, we're off to Sinkhole to learn the Dragonhide armor recipe. Getting this one could be a bit dangerous because the server is becoming more and more active as we get closer to raid hours. Could potentially get ganked along the way and lose everything. So for the Dragonhide armor, we're just going to be using the chest piece for a 6% increase in strength weapon damage, since this is going to be a strength stamina build. We'll also be using the Dragonhide arm piece, and that's going to add 40 points to our HP, so we'll be able to tank an extra hit. Okay, let's see. Hopefully nobody's around here. Let's go for it. Just gotta get the obelisk and we'll jump down. There it is, Dragonhide armor. We're all set here. Lastly, for the final destination, heading up to the Black Keep dungeon over here by the frozen bridge. This next location's a pretty good distance away, so I am keeping an eye out for any fun bases that we might want to raid in the future. Just for any new viewers, any potential raids that we may do for this playthrough, they're all gonna be online raids, no offline raids on this channel. Most fun raids to do for me personally, always tower bases, because I love using a trebuchet. Whoa, look at that. That's real chunky. It's rendering in so slow too. Could be fun to raid if it isn't already raided. Map room here, very nice. Always love to see that. So I think at this point we just need the jungle obelisk and we'll be set. Here's the entrance to the Black Keep dungeon. And here, we're just gonna run past all the enemies. No need to fight any of them. Go in here. We gotta get the key at the very end. Got it. We'll use that key to open up this door. And we're almost at the boss room. Here's the boss room, but he is not here, so somebody must have been here recently. And there it is, guys, the light silent legion armor. And from this one, we're just going to be using the helmet, which is going to give us an additional 40 points in HP. All that's left to do is to get this armor crafted, but for that, we're first going to need to find a good place to build a base of operations that's going to hold all of our benches. In the last episode, we only built a small 3x3 with a bedroll and a chest. It's time we build a proper base. Picking a good location for this base is going to be very important because I'm sure most of you already know this already, but official servers in 2026 are at an all-time worst when it comes to cheating. The cheats that are being used nowadays are extremely powerful, capable of wiping all of your recipes, essentially rendering your character completely useless. They can steal your loot from locked chests and your benches from far away without needing to blow into your base. They can insta-kill you. It's pretty bad, but that's just the way that it is now. They're pretty much part of the game at this point. I treat it no differently than having to deal with the sandstorm. It's something I can't control, and all I can really do is try and stay away from it. See, instead of having to build my own base, and if I'm able to find the right one, I do like to live out of already rated bases that are already equipped with all the benches that I need. And this helps me stay under the radar a little bit better, since my enemies or cheaters, they're not gonna have a base to go after. But yeah, sadly over the last 2 days, I've yet to find a good base that has all the benches that I need. So that's why we gotta build our own. When it comes to location, I usually like to build near an obelisk because I never craft a map room for my base, and most of the time you'll find a map room near an obelisk. But again, with the whole cheating situation, it's not really a good idea to build near an obelisk because usually you run into cheaters there since those are very accessible locations. So we do want to try and go a little bit deeper inland, maybe 3-4 grids away from the obelisk, so that we're close enough to a map room, but not too close where the cheater will find our base instantly. Not that it truly matters since they have ESP and can locate anyone really, but still, make him speed hack a couple seconds longer. I think I'm going to build right over there by those 3 towers. That's actually where, when I first started this YouTube channel, that's where I built one of my first bases ever. It would just be on the other side of this river. I think that's a good distance away from all the chaos. Yeah, this is gonna be our home. Let's clear out all the iron stone here because we're gonna need a lot of it for our benches. This base is not going to be our main base. We're just going to be using it as a safe location to hold our benches so that we can craft our armor or weapons during the day when it's not raid hours. Eventually in the future, depending on how things go, I do want to build a main base that will hopefully attract a lot of attention. I want to try and get at least 1 raid defense for this series. Gonna add another layer of walls so that nobody can peek in. They'll still be able to peek in through the foundation since they're a little bit raised, so we're gonna set up some fences on them. Looks good. Not gonna be able to peek inside anymore. If they want to be able to see what's in here, they're going to have to blow into it. But they're going to be very disappointed because there's going to be nothing in the chest, nothing in the benches. Always make sure to move everything to our stash base before raid time. Alright, we'll set up a bunch of these furnaces now. That should be good enough. We'll start cooking the iron stone because we're going to need a lot of it. I love this area here because there's a lot of the basic resources that you need. A lot of stone. A lot of iron stone, a lot of trees as you can see, and it's very peaceful. Not many people build around this area. We're gonna need a lot of brick for the tier 2 benches, so we'll get some of that in here. We'll set up 2 blacksmith benches to get the iron reinforcement going, and then once we have enough we'll upgrade to tier 2, and that one's really good because it's faster and it saves mats when crafting stuff. Also picked up the statue at one point. Let's go ahead and set it out here. Alright, I think it's time we finish up that journey step for the Spiderclimb boots. For that, we're gonna need an armor's bench. Just gotta craft the climbing boots and the climbing gloves. There it is. Mountaineer. We got it. Now we can claim our reward. and we should be able to craft these. So these are very cheap to make. That's what I really like about these, and they give a good amount of stamina. I am not going to be crafting my armor set just yet, just because raid hours will be starting real soon, and I really do not want to be crafting all of my armor with all my materials out here. And then suddenly somebody comes to raid me and I pretty much get killed and lose everything. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. That's just my personal rule during raid hours. I never craft anything important during that time. All my important loot is always stashed away during that period. The only thing I will be crafting right now are these Spiderclimb boots. Just because they're so cheap to make, I don't really need anything too crazy. Right now our main objective during raid hours, just to stay busy, it's going to be to finish setting up the rest of our benches, like the fireball cauldron, the alchemist bench. If we do get raided while I'm doing that, it's not going to be a big deal because most of the materials needed to craft tier 1, tier 2 benches, it's nothing too expensive. It's just simple materials that I can just farm outside. I'm also placing the benches directly on the ground instead of some foundations because tier 1 obviously it breaks really easily, and at least my benches won't break with the walls and foundations unless the raiders are trying to grief us. Here's the Spiderclimb boots. Not the best armor value, just 5 points, but the stamina 20 points. That's really good. Gonna really help us out in PvP. Looks like some people in chat are very eagerly awaiting raid time. Some guy has an enemy and they're very excited to raid their base soon, within 3 minutes. Got enough mats cooked up now for our fireball cauldron finally. And also the alchemist bench, very important bench for us because we need it for heals, buffs, all that good stuff. We'll place down 2 carpenter's bench, and we're mostly using these for shape wood just as building mats in case we need to build some raid bases. Upgrade our blacksmith bench, speed up production and also lower the cost of crafting. Now we can save on the iron reinforcement. We just need 1 instead of 2. Ooh, just heard an explosive. Let's take all of our stuff. See, this is why I do not like to craft anything during raid hours. It's just so risky. Just gonna lay down up here right above our base. Maybe we can see where they're coming from. Try and spot the raiders. There was just one loud boom and that was it. Yeah, nothing. Just one loud boom to spook me. Let me see if I can hide a chest here underwater and then we can go scout. Gonna put our most important stuff, which is just the blood crystals. No base up there. Of course someone will be here. Still one of the most meta locations. Nothing going on here though. Got one more place to check in this area. Yeah, I really do not know what happened back there with that boom. There's no raids going on here. Alrighty guys, so it's been a couple hours now since the very last clip. Raid hours just ended about 21 minutes ago. After I got done scouting the area around me earlier, I just decided to play it safe and hide all my stuff and wait until after raid hours to finish working on our base. Now we are ready to continue. Looks like nobody raided our base today. That is good. Actually went up to my stash base and picked up the star metal ore that we farmed in the last episode. We're gonna go ahead and get this smelting now. We're almost done here. Just need a couple more benches and we'll be ready to move on to the next task. We'll place down the tanner's bench because we'll be needing this to process the layered silk and layered fur. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of these items over at the Warmaker's dungeon from one of the chests so we can save on alchemical base. Let's set up our fluid press and get our oil production going. We're gonna need this for the master weapon fittings to be able to upgrade our weapons. That's really the only thing we're gonna be upgrading today. We're not gonna be upgrading our armor just because that gets a little bit too expensive for day 2. Next, we'll set up our grinder. And this, we're gonna use it to grind down some coins so that we can start making alchemical base. Almost done here guys. Just want to craft a second blacksmith bench to speed up the iron reinforcement production. And I think that's pretty much it for now. Anything else? I do want to upgrade my furnaces, but that can wait until we come back. And also the carpenter's bench so that we can save on the shaped wood. Before we head out, just want to respec real quick. This is an encumbrance build so that I can carry stuff because we're about to go farm the Warmaker's dungeon for a bunch of stuff that we need. This one I want to take it up to the 3rd perk just so that I can get that quick-footed perk where everything costs less stamina and we're faster. 3 points in vitality. I would love to max it out, but we need these extra 5 points right here and right here to be able to add 10 to grid to get that tenacity perk, increase armor by 40 and stamina by 20, and then get the second perk for endurance so that stamina regenerates 25% faster. Next, we'll max out our expertise. Get that efficient harvest perk, twice as many resources, and beast of burden. We can carry everything we want without having to worry about weight. All right, let's get out of here. Let's see, what is the closest route? I think we'll just walk from here to the Warmaker's dungeon. And here at the Warmaker's dungeon, our main objective is we want to get some legendary weapons. Ooh, somebody just built here, right? This was not here earlier. Let's see who this belongs to. So we have some new neighbors. This is a big clan. 1, 2, 3 right now. Maybe they'll be the first clan we fight. We can set up right over there and trap their base from there. Force them to come after us. Oh, there's the player. Ooh, do we take this fight? Oh wait, that's a lot of them. I would love to take this fight, but we're just not ready. And we're corrupted. This base is so getting raided tomorrow. We'll probably have to move out. This statue scared me. I thought that was a player waiting. Things are about to get real interesting, guys. Once we're fully geared, that's when all the fun's about to begin. Really glad these guys moved in. Alright, continuing with our objective, we're going to the Warmaker's dungeon, and we got a few things to do there. First things first, we got to learn the Grandmaster recipe so that we can upgrade our weapons. We got to farm a few of the bosses there so that we can get some legendary weapons and upgrade from these raw dropped ones that we have right now. We also need to farm some of the chests there for the perfected light paddings that will help us save on resources when crafting our armor. We need a few other materials that we can get from those chests. If we can get some layered silk, some layered fur, all that would be awesome to get. And of course, dragon powder for future raids. The Warmaker's dungeon, we can run it multiple times over and over. But right now, we're just gonna run it once just so that we can get some legendary weapons and the Grandmaster recipes, most importantly. I already have some perfected light padding that I got yesterday in the last episode. I will have to get off in about an hour because I have some IRL obligations I gotta attend to. So I only have time for one run, but don't worry, we'll be back for some more. We're just getting started with this day. Once we get our armor, we gotta find some players to fight and really remove all the rust that we've accumulated over the last 8 months. I mean, I've been dying even to just regular NPCs at this point, but I think we'll be alright. The first run of the Warmaker's dungeon is always the most difficult one because you're not well geared and you also don't have the key to the next room. You gotta fight the 3 main bosses, and those, they're very tanky. They take about like 4 to 5 minutes to bring down, and there could always be players in there. Oh, got disconnected. This could be a while, guys. Server's down. Sometimes these servers are down for the rest of the night or 15 minutes. Let's go, let's go. We'll be skipping this first boss, at least for this first run, until we can get some better weapons. Right now, our main priority is going to be to take down the 3 main bosses so that we can get the key to move on to the next room. We'll make sure to take this guy down because he has a 100% chance to drop some legendary punching daggers. Those can make this first run go much faster. These 3 main bosses are always my least favorite ones because they take so long to kill, especially the first time. Each fight takes about 5 to 7 minutes. What do we get? Let's take all that. Looks like this guy was loaded. It's taking a very long time, so I think I am gonna need to sacrifice these disease spikes so that we can do a little bit more damage. Once we use them, we're not gonna be able to upgrade them because I think they need to be 100% durability for upgrades, but we need these. These are 100% guaranteed anyways. We can always format from these guys. One more hit. There we go. Got some daggers. Really what I would prefer would be some 2-handed hammers. I need to step outside for a second because I'm starting to run out of aloe leaves and we need a bunch for these boss fights. Actually, while we're here, let's make a quick little shack here just to depot some of our legendaries and mats. Just in case we get ganked in there, we don't lose everything. Ooh, did someone kill the blue boss here? I do not see him. Someone might be here. I do have to leave very soon, so I could probably take out one more. And then when we come back, I'll just have to take out one more and we should be good. See, I'm always sketched out about using punching daggers in this dungeon because they always echo throughout the entire dungeon. So everyone's gonna know someone is in here. But these are the best weapons we have right now. So I'll just take this guy out and I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Oh no, he's bugged out. Hopefully we can still loot him. Oh, really? All that work for nothing. It's so unfortunate. Perfected light padding. So could not get that second boss before I have to go now. It's gonna have to wait. Let's just loot these chests one last time before we go. Just gonna log off at our new shack here and we'll pick things back up again once I'm back. I'll see you guys then. Alrighty guys, we are back finally. I did not have the energy last night to come back online, so it is the very next morning. Got some sleep and we're ready to take on the day. Let's finish up this dungeon right now while it's still early and the server is not as active, so we don't have to worry as much about getting ganked here. We'll take all this. We'll definitely need to take all these guys down. There's so many of them. Let's drag them out here. They drop good stuff, not bad. Dragon powder, nice. Just gonna loot everything. We'll throw away all of the stuff at the end. Got some great Lotus powder, we love that. This for a strength buff. Got some more here. Nice to be able to skip having to go to the jungle to pick up the black lotus flower. Instead, we'll just make the gray lotus potions. Skeletons are down, now we fight the boss. Got the Mordlum, one of the best spears in the game. Okay, the middle boss, final one. This one's one of the easier ones. Doesn't drop anything too good, it's just some kind of buff. There we go. Now this dungeon will get much easier. More dragon powder. Ooh, more layered silk. Nice. Got the key, perfect. Now we finally get to move on to the next room. A lot more chests. There's a blue skeleton boss that drops some hammers, which is the main weapon that we're looking for right now. There's the blue skeleton boss I was talking about. And this guy, he has the potential to drop a two-handed hammer or a two-handed sword. Yes. We got the World Breaker. I think this is the best hammer in the Exile lands, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's go. That's all we need. More dragon powder. Oh, more dragon powder. Look at that. We are just getting lucky right now. Alright, let's go. Almost out of here, guys. Just gonna take the time to grab the champion's armor over there. Let's take down a few of these spiders too, because they give some ichor, and we'll need that for the alchemical base. We save ourselves a trip to the spider cave. See, I would love to loot this room, but one time I encountered a bug where the mammoth one-shot me out of nowhere. Not willing to risk that happening again, especially because to get back here, we would need to kill the 3 bosses again. Here we are. Just to be safe, we're gonna secure the recipes first before we loot the extra rooms. There it is, Grandmaster recipes. Now we can upgrade our armor or weapons with the best upgrades if we want to. There's the light padding we need. That's 11. Also got some more back home, so not gonna spend any materials crafting these. Always a good idea to farm this dungeon for these. Oh yeah, and we also picked up the World Breaker. That's gonna be fun to try out. 4 more dragon powder. Getting really lucky this run. Another 2, holy smokes. And then just right before we jump down here, there's a little extra room here with chests. We'll take it all. We'll dump what we don't need back home. Or dragon powder and light padding. Alright, let's Gotta make it out of this dungeon. So not a bad first run, guys. Check it out. Here are all the profits. Ended up getting everything we needed and more. Now whenever we want to run this dungeon again for some extra dragon powder or some extra profits, we don't have to kill those 3 tanky bosses. Since we already have the key, we can just focus on looting the chests over and over. In terms of legendaries, I would just fight the red devil boss for the 100% punching daggers and the blue skeleton boss for the world breaker hammer. Alright, so next on the to-do list, we gotta go get the salted pork recipe over at Sinkhole. Trying to decide if it's worth it for me to risk going with all of our loot there. Let's risk it. We should be okay. It is very scary to be walking through here with all of our inventory. The salted pork recipe is gonna be right over this wall. And that's gonna be our second strength buff on top of the Grey Lotus potion. It's gonna be right over there on the floor. Let's go. Got it. Since we're already here in the area, I'm gonna go and farm some of the silk notes behind the summoning place, just to make sure that we have enough for the armor. If you're looking for a nice central area to farm some silk, you can find some right here. Plenty of silk to go around, more than you'll ever need. Oh yeah, and some more ichor for the alchemical base. Alrighty guys, let's go and get this armor finally crafted. So we're gonna need to make some layered silk. Already have 18. I should have more in the chest. Let's make 30 more. Let's get the alchemical base going now that we got some ichor. 322, not bad. Could always make some more. Ended up with 40 perfected light padding. And see, this is why I love the Warmaker's dungeon, because we get to save on these materials here just by farming the perfected light padding there. We're also going to need a tinker's bench, and this will be to make the master weapon fittings in order to upgrade our weapons. Just going to need some wood first. Let's do a quick farm run. Gonna need a ton of stone too, and that's to make some salt with the grinder for our salted pork. And we'll get that going. Tinker's bench, we'll place it right here. Here we have the master weapon fittings. We're gonna need oils, that's the thing. We'll just quickly farm some seeds here, put them in the fluid press. I did try to get a pork earlier, but I did not yield any. I think we're gonna need a cleaver for that. There's the raw pork. Final bench, just need the stove. All right, let's craft this first set of armor, guys. Would be nice if we had some kind of armor thrall just to make the armor a little bit stronger. We could go try our luck over at the Mounds for a tier 3 at least. Maybe we'll do that, but at least for this first set, we need the armor right now because we have been just basically naked this whole episode. For this strength stamina build that I'm going to be going with, we're going to be using the light Silent Legion helmet. We'll be going with the Dragonhide chest piece, the Dragonhide bracers, and of course the leggings of Kurak, and I'm just waiting on the layered silk right now. Let's get that salted pork going too at the same time. For our potion strength buff, we are going to need to make an extra trip and get some frost lotus powder. We're almost set. Let's make our master weapon fitting for our hammer. This thing will hit so hard. Look at that armor pen, 67 plus sunder. Goes from 68 health damage to 73 and 79 armor pen. This thing is gonna slap so hard. And here's our full armor set. The Silent Legion helmet is gonna give us 40 health points. The chest piece will do 6 points in strength. The Dragonhide arms is gonna give 40 health points. The leggings of Kurak, that gives 30 stamina points, perfect. And the boots, 20 stamina points. So some stamina, some health, and some strength. Now that we are pretty much set here, I'm gonna go through my inventory, all my benches, everything, and just dump what I don't need. I got a lot of junk here that's just cluttering up my inventory. I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty guys, so just finished doing some inventory management. Managed to cut everything down to just 2 chests. As a solo player, I just personally prefer to keep my inventory small just because it's a lot easier to stash. If I have way too much loot, it just becomes too stressful having to figure out what to do with it. Let's go ahead and leave some heals cooking here so that we're ready to go. So just the final things we need to farm before we can switch to our fighter build and start roaming. Gotta get some black ice so that I can finish smelting all of my star metal. We gotta get some frost flowers as well so that we can make our strength potions. And we'll also just quickly pass by the Mounds of the Dead. See if we can at least get ourselves a tier 3 armor, tier 3 blacksmith, just so that we can craft some better armor and weapons. We'll just check on the thralls here first, take them out, and then by the time we're back, there should be a new set of thralls. Not even gonna craft the Wheel of Pain, I'll just use one of these, wait it out. It's pretty quick now, I believe. Before we start fighting though, I do gotta fix my mouse. I spilled some coffee on it and now the right mouse click is stuck. It gets stuck very easily. Now, it's been a really long time since the last time that I farmed any worker thralls. I usually never bother with them at all because they can be killed very easily now, since Funcom made it so that you have to place your worker thralls physically in the world. So it just doesn't feel worth it to spend hours and hours and hours farming for the best thralls like a Bladesmith or a Shieldwright. That's why I'm just going for something like a tier 3. Those are very common. And if your raiders decide to kill your thralls, it's not such a big deal as losing a Bladesmith or a Shieldwright. But yeah, when it comes to farming a blacksmith or an armor thrall, I usually like to come here to the Mounds. For all my years in Conan, I've always had the best luck here. And this place is cool because there's always a chance that you will get a Bladesmith or a Shieldwright. Alright, let's see if we get lucky. Should be an armor thrall and a blacksmith here. Tier 1, we'll take this one down, it's junk. Tier 2, ooh, nah, we need at least tier 3. Should be an armor thrall right here as well. Tier 1. Oh, blacksmith. Alright, that's pretty much it here. There's one more armor thrall we can check at this other mound right here. Tier 1. So no luck this first time, but that's alright. Throughout the rest of this day, we'll just be checking in periodically as we're roaming around looking for PvP. Not really in a big rush to get these worker thralls, just a side quest to keep us productive while we're roaming. Now we're off to the frozen bridge to pick up some frost lotus so that we can make our grey lotus potion. Last thing to pick up, just gotta get some black ice over at the frost temple. Just need enough to convert my star metal. So since there's no map room, we're just gonna make our way down back to the Mounds. We'll check on the armor blacksmith thralls one more time, see if we get lucky with a tier 3 at least, and then head back to base, finish processing the rest of our materials. And then we are going to be moving out of that base because raid hours is coming up real soon. And as we saw earlier in this episode, we do have some new neighbors and I have a big feeling these guys are going to try and raid us today. Once we set up a new base of operations, we'll make sure to come back to that area. We'll stick around, see if they try and raid it, and we'll try and defend. Get some PvP out of it. And then maybe in the next episode, we can trap their base. We can go after their tower. Tier 1, dang. Tier 1 blacksmith too. Let's see here, tier 1. Damn, really bad rolls here. Tier 2. Almost there, just need one more tier up. And I think I might actually move my base right now that the server is still not as fully active, because it's only going to get harder and harder to move my stuff as we get closer to raid hours. So let's do that now. I've already decided I'm just going to hide out in Noob River, set up a little shack, just with the benches that I need to be able to craft armor, weapons, heals, buffs. Yeah, all 3 of them are online right now. That pyramid just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We gotta get out of here. We're still gonna leave this base fully set up so that they still come after it, because we do want to fight that clan eventually. Gonna take the important benches though. The alchemist, the fireball cauldron, the stove, take our armor's bench, tinker's bench, and we'll take our blacksmith benches. And all of our important goods. Oh, these 2. Alright, we're kind of set here, guys. Ready to move out? Let's go. Off to Noob River. Got all of our inventory with us. Let's go, let's go. Such a risky mission right now. Ooh, this would have been a good spot. Dang, taken. Ooh, it's decayed. We'll demolish this. Let's see if we can build here. I might need to get out of render distance. Oh, we could build. Perfect. Since you guys have already seen me build one base today, I'm not gonna have you go through that again. We're just gonna skip ahead to once this base is fully built. Okay guys, here we have it. This is gonna be our new base of operations here at Noob River. Let me give you a quick base tour. This is it. Got all the benches here that we need to be able to just craft new armors, new heals, all that good stuff. But yeah guys, raid hour started about 20 minutes ago. We're pretty much done gearing up. Last thing we gotta do is switch over to our fighter build. Like I mentioned already, this is a strength stamina build. So we're gonna be putting in 15 points into strength. For the second perk, we're gonna be going with second skin so that our armor weighs less. Next, we'll put in 15 points into agility. And for the second perk, we're going to be going with precision strike so that we get an additional 10% armor pen. We're going to put 10 points into grit to get that tenacity perk and the endurance perk so that our stamina regenerates 25% faster. Lastly, we'll invest the last 20 points into vitality. We'll get the fast healer perk and then glutton for punishment so that we can regenerate our health when we take damage. This is our strength stamina build, trying it out for the very first time. Here's the armor once again, just in case you're interested in knowing what I'm using. And here are the attribute points. As you can see, top left corner, got 2 buffs, salted pork and the Great Lotus potion. Now this build that I'm using right now, it's just the bare minimum to be able to stay alive in PvP fights. There's so much more that I could do. I could craft some set potions so that I can get rid of poison or the disease state. I can craft some Feast of Yogg for health point and stamina regeneration. I can get some iced tea for stamina regeneration. There's always so much more you can do to better improve your chances at surviving. Of course, even with our armor, I don't even have any attachments to them. I could add some bulk plating for extra defenses, but I don't really want to do that with this set, especially if it's not crafted by a Shieldwright. It's just kind of not worth it. Well, that's unfortunate. Just as we were about to get started, someone just said there's a cheater on the server. They're just level 9 and apparently they one-shotted a level 60 character that's geared. I think I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer in my base. Everything's already been cleared out. I already stashed it away. Just have this stuff here, which is fine. Just want to get some more confirmation, see if any other players start getting killed by this player. As you can see right now, there's 22 people online. That's a good amount for 2026 standards. It's currently the most active official server in this region, so it's bound to attract some cheaters. Just gonna keep an eye on chat. Maybe grab some lunch right now. I'll be back. Alrighty guys, so I have some good news and some bad news. So the good news is that I was actually able to fix my mouse and now I can use my right button again. Now the bad news is that, as you can see here, looking at the event log, our base over at the Mounds of the Dead, it ended up getting raided. It was completely empty, so we didn't really lose anything of value, but we did miss the raid defense there, unfortunately. It was all happening while I was disassembling my mouse completely, so there was no way for me to be able to run there and defend. I wish I knew who raided me, but for some reason Funcom decided to block out whoever raids you now, so it automatically just says another player, which is really bizarre, especially on a PvP server. Like, it kind of robs you of the ability to get back at your raiders. Now anyone can just raid any base and be super secretive about it, and unless you're physically there to see who's raiding you, you can't really, try and raid them back because you have no idea who it is. And I just find that really strange for a PvP server. Like, you should know who's raiding you. Right now I just read global chat and apparently someone's getting raided here at F1. This was the base that we saw on day 1. We're gonna go check it out, see what's going on. Somebody just announced it in chat, so big chance that a lot of people are gonna come here. Haven't had a fight in 8 months. This could go real bad. It's already been wiped clean. How long ago? Should be a 480. It says 4 hours ago. Yeah, culprits, long gone. We're gonna go check up on our raided base now since I haven't had a chance to see the damage. These guys ended up expanding so fast. Okay, so as it turns out, this wasn't the one that got raided. That means it must have been the one at Brim Lake, the one that we built this morning. Still would be nice to know who raided it though. While we're passing through here, let's check on the thralls. Still trying to get a tier 3 and above. Let's see how hard we hit these now. So here we got tier 1. Nice. Ooh, tier 3. Okay. I don't have my thing to knock him out. What do we got here? And tier 2. Alright, we might come back for this tier 3 armor. Let me see if I can craft a club. I could go back to base, pick up my truncheon there, but I feel like this is faster because I don't live near a map room, so I would have to walk a lot. This should be good enough for us. It's no Shieldwright, but this is already more than we usually do. Usually for my other playthroughs, I don't even bother crafting armor. I just use the armor from these thralls, just the Sumerian armor. There we go. Got him. Let's check on this guy here. Tier 1. Let's check on the other one here. Tier 1. Can't remember if this is possible, but we should be able to use other players' wheelbase, right? Oh no, we can't. Thought I could get away without having to craft one. Yeah, I think I'll go pick up some materials and come back. I doubt this thrall is gonna survive, but I'm gonna just leave him right over here. If he's there by the time we're back, then good. If not, we'll just have to get him again. I'll see you guys once I'm back. Got enough materials for one wheel of paint, and we'll just leave it right there. Let's see if we can find that thrall. Alright, got him. Set him down, we'll give him some of our gruel. Should be quick, right? Like 5 minutes. We'll leave him there. Go check on the rest. Tier 3 blacksmith, tier 2. One more in here. Tier 1. I mean, it's going fast, but I might have overestimated how fast these wheel of paints go. So I think in the meantime, I'm gonna build a little shelter around it. I thought it would only take like 5 minutes. That's how you know I haven't tamed a thrall in ages. There we have it. Not the prettiest build, but I'll just fix it up once I can pick up the wheel of pain. Guys, I have some not so great news to share. As you can see, I am naked and in the desert, and the reason for that is last night, after I got done building my shelter for my wheel of pain, I ended up just logging off for the night inside my wheelbase. Then this morning, right now, I log in and boom, I'm waking up naked and in the desert. If we take a look at the event log here, you can see that all the stuff that was on me, my armor, my weapons, it ended up despawning. It doesn't show that anyone killed me, but I'm pretty sure it was a cheater that killed me by pulling my hitbox while I was unconscious. In the past, whenever I've been killed by other cheaters, it never shows up in the event log. So if it had been just a regular player that killed me, maybe with gas arrows, it would show in the event log. It would say killed by another player. But yeah, heading back to the mounds, gonna go check on the wheelbase, see if our thrall is still there or maybe I got vacuum looted. I did just ask in global chat if anyone else woke up dead this morning, and someone said that one of the cheaters that's been terrorizing this server this past week, they were actually online last night. So that pretty much confirms it for me. Definitely got killed by the cheater. I should have been a little bit more cautious though. Just from my own personal experience, it's never a good idea to log out in your base if you have stuff in your inventory, because cheaters can still kill you from far away and you just end up losing everything. They also have ESP and can locate you like that while you're offline. So yeah, always best to just pull your bracelet and log off like that. Make it a little bit harder for them to find you. Yeah, it's gone, guys. I got vacuum looted. Let me just check here real quick, see if there's another one. That's tier 2. Ooh, and tier 3, blacksmith. This we could use. Alright, I'm gonna go back to base, pick up some new armor, some new weapons, and a truncheon. We'll be back to pick this blacksmith up. Alrighty guys, we are back in business. Back to how we were before we got hit by that cheater. Just missing the world breaker, but we'll get it eventually. Let's head back to the mounds, finish up getting ourselves that tier 3 blacksmith. Then we'll go farm some legendaries, roam around until we find someone to fight. Ideally, I want to get at least one fight in before the end of this episode. So there's our wheelbase. I should maybe move it a little bit more in there. That's easier to spawn, not that it matters. They got ESP. But at least it's not right in the front here. Now we take him in. And hopefully this one's not gonna get taken. One of the items that I lost when that cheater killed me last night was the key to the Warmaker's room. I'm gonna have to kill those bosses once again, but with this great axe should go a lot faster. Let's check what's left of our raided base here. I do gotta pick up some cheap aloe leaves because I don't want to use these good heals. These are only for PvP, not for boss fights. Yeah, I don't even see it. I think they foundation wiped it. It wasn't even that big to begin with. Really all I'm interested in getting here is I want to get back the World Breaker hammer because I do want to try it out. Some more punching claws just as a secondary weapon to stack disease. Since we've already done this dungeon once today, I'm just going to cut to the more interesting parts if anything does happen or if we run into other players to fight. The first time we came here, I didn't get a chance to kill this first boss, but he does have a chance to drop an Axe of the Gate Guardian. And that one's probably one of the best weapons for water PvP. Let's see if we can get lucky. He's not doing any damage to me for some reason. Look at that. This might be a new bug. No luck this time. He has a chance to drop either a fragment of power, the axe, or an armor repair kit. Let's see. There it is. Punching daggers. Very nice. Eye of Watcher. We'll take it. Yeah, that's the last one, and we got really lucky here. Got another good hammer. So this one, let's see, what does it do? It corrupts, sunders, good health damage, good armor pen. Nice. This blue skeleton boss that gives the World Breaker, he's also not doing any damage. We can just tank all his hits. What do we get? World Breaker again. Okay, perfect. With our tier 3 blacksmith, we should be able to live off of just star metal great axes and whatever hammers we get here from this boss. I will try to loot these chests here. There's the dragon powder. Oh, please do not insta kill me. 13 dragon powder, perfect. 2 good hammers, some dragon powder. We got our key back so we can just run this dungeon back and forth whenever we want. Let's pass by Sepermeru, get rid of this tiny bit of corruption, and see if there's any good thralls there. Alright, let's see what we got here. And we get lucky. Just tier 1. We'll take these down. Up here should be some armor thralls. Tier 1. One more here. Tier 1 and 2. Got a pretty loaded inventory. Just gonna go depot real quick. Before we go pick up our thrall, let's upgrade these legendary weapons. So we'll upgrade the World Breaker. And this one here, I can't pronounce that word. And the Disease Spike. We'll run with the World Breaker and these. I do gotta find some kind of map room around this area because the walk to Sinkhole is at least a 5-7 minute walk. We don't even have a map room here anymore. I never build my own map rooms because those will attract some attention to your base. Just trying to stay under the radar as much as I can. Is it done? All done. Got our blacksmith now. Just need an armor thrall to make our armor just a little bit stronger. I really do not want this thrall getting stolen again, so I'm gonna go secure it at my stash base. But before we do that, just gonna do a quick farm run of the Warmaker's dungeon again. I want to try and stack some more legendary weapons so that we're always good to go in case we die in fights. Here's the loot, guys. Got another World Breaker and another set of punching daggers. Got about 2 hours and 10 minutes before raid time, and I still haven't been able to run into anyone just yet. But don't worry, this video is not gonna end until we at least have one fight to be able to try out this build. Alrighty guys, we are set for today's raid hours. Got 3 sets ready to go, including the one that we're wearing right now. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of these weapons here. Here's the server pop just before raid time. It is as good as it's gonna get on this server. Over 20 people online right now. Let's find ourselves that fight we've been looking for all day today. Right now we're just gonna be strictly just roaming for PvP. Somebody did mention in the morning that they built some kind of PvP arena near the unnamed city in Sepermeru where people can fight. We can maybe stop by right now since we're gonna be around that area. It's that same clan that moved in very close to our base over at the Mounds. Somebody's been around here. That scorpion. This might be it. Oh yeah. I mean, I like how simple it is. Doesn't lag the server too much. People usually go crazy building arenas. Oh. Got disconnected, dang it. I should just start carrying extra buffs with me. Because every time we disconnect, we lose our buffs. We're gonna have to wait a bit. The server is completely offline. If I had to guess, someone's crashing it on purpose. It's been happening a lot lately. Alright, we're back. 10 minutes later. Yeah, someone's saying in chat that apparently the server's getting DDoS. It's a real big problem that's been happening very frequently lately. Even private servers are getting hit by that as well. I wasn't recording when it happened, but the server crashed again. Guys, check it out. Just hit the jackpot. I was running through this camp here, and look who I run into. Bladesmith. Got one big problem though, I don't have the truncheon with me, and this space is completely cleared out, so I'm gonna need to go back to my Noob River base and pick one up. This run back is so long though, I really hope that thrall's still there by the time we make it back. It's gonna be a bit too risky to drag him all the way to the mounds from here, so I'm gonna set up another wheel pane here instead. Oh man, now if we get raided and this thrall ends up dead, it's gonna hurt. I wish they never made it so that you had to place down your worker thralls. Right, I think our bladesmith should be ready right now. Yes, it is. What an absolute find to get this today. It's gonna be so nice to be able to craft some max damage star metal grade axes. Let's get out of here. I gotta go stash this right now, because if I lose this to a cheater, the disappointment would be unreal. Alright guys, finally ended up finding some players. We got Crashy here. He's only level 44, but he was with another player named Jelly, and he's level 60. I ended up challenging him to a 1v1, and he just accepted. We're about to have our first fight in 8 months, guys. Let's do it. Okay, so he's going to be using dagger spam. Need to be real careful here, because this is always the most dangerous. If we run out of stamina even once, that's all it takes to get killed. This thrall gets in the way every time. I said a 1v1 at first, but I think he forgot to put it in passive mode. Oh, might be dead here. That was a good fight. I can feel the cobwebs coming off. If we can get the rematch, I think we can get that one back. Just gotta watch the stamina, don't enter that exhausted state, and probably don't do a full combo with the hammer. Stick to the first and second attack, and that's it. Guys, looks like we're not gonna be able to have that rematch against Jelly. He just said he has to go, so it is gonna have to wait until later. Alright guys, I got some excellent news. Jelly is back, and we're about to have another 1v1 rematch time. We have to win this one. Here we go. Let's stack some disease. Now back to the hammer for some big damage. Check it out, he was using the immediate armor. which I've never seen this one before, but this one gives you stamina for every piece. Wish I could try it out, but I don't have the DLC for this. Let's go for the tiebreaker. Last battle, winner takes all. Stack some disease. One more. He always gets those heals off. Very impressive timing. Just want to say good fights to Jelly. Appreciate him taking the time to give me the rematch. Dang, I am not looking forward to editing this episode. I got like 10 hours of footage to go through. It's been a lot of hours of playtime, but thankfully we managed to accomplish pretty much everything we set out to do for this episode. We got ourselves fully geared and decently established on this server. Even managed to squeeze in a few fights. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow for a fresh new adventure. Gonna start scouting and preparing for our first raid on this server. I'll see you guys then.